Final act of President Trump's campaign to overturn the election. Congressman Mo Brooks of Alabama is now calling on his fellow Republicans to join his effort challenging the results on January 6th when Congress convenes to officially tally the votes of the Electoral College. If just one senator backs him, Brooks can force Congress to debate and vote on whether to accept a given state's slate of electors.
Christopher Krebs, the former head of the Homeland Security Cybersecurity Agency, is set to testify today before a GOP-controlled Senate committee that continues to say unfounded claims about the election need to continue to be investigated. Krebs was fired by President Trump. A COVID relief bill getting closer, it seems, in Congress. Still nothing yet, though. Meantime, the president-elect continues setting up his new team.
Biden is plowing ahead with his transition, picking one-time rival, former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg as transportation secretary, a key role that would help implement the president-elect's ambitious goal of rebuilding the nation's infrastructure.
That's ABC's Mary Bruce in Washington. Hospitals across the country are inoculating healthcare workers with the Pfizer vaccine as the FDA reviews another shot made by Moderna.
A second vaccine could be on the way later this week after Moderna's candidate faces an FDA committee tomorrow. Early FDA analysis shows Moderna's vaccine is nearly 95% effective and appears to prevent severe disease. Preliminary evidence also suggests the vaccine reduced asymptomatic infection after the first shot. The government is ready to ship millions of doses once Moderna gets the green light.
ABC's Kenneth Moten. Hospitals across the country coping with a record number of patients for the 9th consecutive day. California gotten so bad they've activated what's called a mass fatality program with morgue trucks on standby. This is ABC News.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
The product's super. I've heard about Balance of Nature for some time, and I just thought I'd get involved. And so when I did, I started taking it, and I saw a difference. It kind of balanced out my blood, if you will. So my doctor was pleased with that. He said, "What are you doing? What's going on?" And I just shared. I said, "Well, I'm taking this extra thing called Balance of Nature." And he said, "That's good. That's good." So I admonish all people that have some type of health issue, try it. It really helped my numbers, and I know the product works.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FRUITS.
Political ads are coming back to Facebook today, but in a limited way. The social network is lifting its ban on the ads, but only in the case of the Georgia Senate runoff elections. A former Houston police captain now facing assault charges for allegedly attacking someone he thought was involved in voter fraud. Listen to this story.
It sounds like a twisted version of Law and Order. Former Houston Police Chief Captain Mark Aguirre claimed an air conditioner repairman was the mastermind behind a giant voter fraud operation, so the former police officer ran the truck off the road and held him at gunpoint, later telling police he had more than 700,000 mail ballots and used Hispanic children to sign them. Police searched the van and found air conditioner parts. The former officer now charged and could face 20 years in prison. Andy Field, ABC News.
Some problems for Google. A day after its services all over the world went down, Gmail users hit another snag, getting error messages for about 3 hours yesterday. And the city of Paris is facing a fine of more than $100,000 for having too many women in senior positions. A law passed in 2013 in France caps the number of appointees to top spots from any one gender at 60%. In Paris, women make up nearly 70% of leadership positions. The mayor, also a woman, calls the rule absurd and says she will pay the fine in person. This is ABC News.
Ready to create your own income with your own home-based business where there's no such thing as getting laid off? If a billionaire entrepreneur spent 5 years and $20 million searching for the next big trend, wouldn't you want to know what he found? If you're serious about making money from home without having to leave home, then write this down. www.goherenext.com. You decide your income. Get the facts now. GoHereNext.com.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
You know, folks are saying once you've used a Massey Ferguson, you won't ever want another tractor. They're tough, versatile, and dependable. And now with the change of season special at NC Tractor and Farm Supply, you'll be wise to get your special deal. Our tractors have been running in families for generations. Ask about the Phil Sheehan Fall Special going on right now. NC Tractor, 299 Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton. Call 288-0395. Well, the four-letter word for today's forecast is rain, R-A-I-N. We're going to have rain with us pretty much all day today, with our highs staying around 39. Wind chill value as low as 31 today. Wind gusting to about 13 miles per hour today. The rain will continue throughout today and into tonight, with lows around 30 tonight, with a chance of precip about 50%. Then by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it's absolutely beautiful weekend. Highs around 47, 49, and 49 respectively. Sunday is another story. We'll talk about that as the day progresses. Right now, we're sort of lingering around 33 here at our studios in beautiful downtown Whiteside Road. It may be lower than that where you are or higher than that where you are. That's one of the difficult things about the county's geography. It is lower some places than others, so watch out for those slick spots, those frozen spots over the bridges and overpasses. That's where it may be slick, but right now it's 33 and still getting a little rain. We should be climbing up to about 39 for a daytime high. Now, the Rutherford County Schools will be closed. We'll be observing a remote learning day today for all students at all grade levels. Today's exams for high school students will be rescheduled, and the high schools will directly communicate specific details about these adjustments to their students and families. And the schools will observe an optional teacher workday for all school system employees today. Eligible employees who face hazardous travel conditions this morning are authorized to telework. That's the conditions out there right now. It's basically in pretty good shape, but as I said, there may be those slick spots around the area that we don't know about, so please watch out. Now I have these death announcements this morning. Patsy Butler Searcy, age 81 of Forest City, died Tuesday at her home. The family will hold a private family service at the Paget and King Chapel with burial at Cool Springs Cemetery. Her son, Reverend Nelson Searcy, will officiate the service. The Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements. An online guest registry available for Patsy Searcy. Mrs. Millie Jean Mickey Dees Hennessy, 87 of Bostic, died Monday. A graveside service will be conducted at 2 o'clock Thursday at Salem United Methodist Church Cemetery. And Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is in charge of the arrangements for Millie Jean Mickey Dees Hennessy. Mr. Steve Pete Robertson, 63 of Forest City, died Thursday. The funeral will be conducted at 1 o'clock today at Mount Harmony Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is serving the family of Steve Pete Robertson. Kenneth Alvin Harris, 94 of Rutherfordton, passed away Monday, December 14th at Henderson Care Center. The family will receive friends from 12:30 until 1:30 Thursday, December 17th at McMahon's Funeral Home. The graveside service will be held at 2 o'clock Thursday at Union Methodist Church Cemetery. The burial will be at Union Methodist Church Cemetery with military honors provided by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. Mike Mahan's Funeral Home and Cremation Service is in charge of the arrangements for Kenneth Alvin Harris. Russell A. Collins, age 70 of Forest City, passed away Sunday, December 13th at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. A gathering of family and friends will be held from 2 until 4 Saturday at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Harrelson Funeral Chapel and Cremation Service serving the family of Russell A. Collins. Eunice Margaret Melton Tunnel, 83 of Bostic, died Sunday at Fairhaven Home of Bostic. A private funeral service will be held at a later date. And the Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is serving the family of Eunice Margaret Melton Tunnel. David Young Banning, age 53 of Rutherfordton, passed away December the 8th at Rutherford Regional Medical Center. At David's request, all services will be private in Crow's Mortuaries, assisting the family of David Young Banning. Martha Bailey Hensley of Rutherfordton passed away Friday, December the 11th at Accordius Healthcare. Celebration of her life will be held at a later date. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Martha Bailey Hensley. McKinley Craven Mull, infant son of Haley Lewis and Michael Mull, died Saturday, December 12th. No formal services will be conducted in Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services, providing services for the family. For McKinley Craven Mull. Wilma Ruth Morrow, 79, of Forest City, died Tuesday, December 15th. Those arrangements incomplete and will be announced by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service.
Because they can't pay their rent, or about landlords losing their properties because they can't pay their mortgages. I guarantee you, if Republicans ran these cities and states, all you would see would be the hard luck stories caused by shutdowns, especially so close to Christmas. But it's Cuomo, it's de Blasio, it's Democrats. So hard luck stories are not on the menu. They have been shut down too. If you are thinking about gifts this holiday season, our friends at Cadenwood, the trusted leaders in CBD, have some ideas of their own to offer. First, there's Level Select CBD, a reliable line of sports creams and roll-ons that use a proprietary formula of broad spectrum and nano CBD that ensures fast absorption for quick relief. It's perfect for the loved ones on your gift list who stay active. Now, speaking of loved ones, there's Cadenwood's new Purity Preferred Pet CBD with calming and hip and joint relief for your dog or cat. All Cadenwood products have 0% THC. They are independently tested and they are made right here in the United States. Level Select CBD is now offering a great holiday gift pack that includes two of their most popular products for an incredible 50% savings. Go to LevelSelectCBD.com right now and get the holiday gift pack for 50% off. That's LevelSelectCBD.com for this gift pack at an incredible 50% savings.
Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota.
Your official Christmas station for Rutherford County and the Foothills is WCAB Rutherfordton. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131. Paid for by Airtime Media.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Isothermal Community College will operate on a regular schedule today. This word just in. Isothermal College, regular schedule.
When it comes to calling a pest control company, people in the know call Hutchins Pest Control. With over 40 years experience behind them, it's a known fact that Tim Hutchins and his team come ready to do a professional job for you. Licensed in both North and South Carolina and voted the best for 10 years. Hutchins Pest Control comes fully insured, honest, dependable, and on-time service. Call Hutchins Pest Control today at 287-5171 to get rid of your pest and rodent problems.
Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply has all of your deal hunting supplies, including Deluxe Mix, $34 for a 50-pound bag, Early Draw, $27 for 25 pounds. They also have Lucky Buck, a supply of deer apples, a new Strike Force automatic deer feeder, deer corn, and so much more. Refill your propane tanks for only $10.99 for the 20-pound tanks. Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply is the largest farm and feed store in the area. Come see us at 188 Whiteside Road in Rutherfordton.
John Simpson Chisholm was born in Tennessee. Although reportedly John's father spelled his last name the same as Jesse Chisholm of Chisholm Trail fame, they were not related. And for whatever reason, John changed the spelling of his name. As a young man, John and his parents moved to Texas. At the age of 30, John got into the cattle business. Seeing the opportunities better in New Mexico, John moved his operation up there and ran 80,000 head in Lincoln County. With his cattle running over a vast isolated area, rustlers started picking them off. So Chisholm teamed up with a couple of other cattlemen named McSween and Tunstall. Their foes were a couple of cattlemen and merchants who were underselling cattle to the army. And Chisholm felt they were able to sell the cattle cheaply because the cattle were stolen from him. Before long, there was an all-out war. Chisholm, McSween, and Tunstall recruited cowboys who were gunslingers. One such cowboy was Billy the Kid. When the war turned in favor of the small cattlemen and merchants, and Chisholm continued losing cattle to rustlers and Indians, he lost much of his wealth and power. In 1884, John Chisholm developed a neck tumor, and on December 22, he died in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, where he had gone for treatment. An indication of the wealth he had at the peak of his career, when Chisholm died, his estate was still worth $500,000. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Now it's 16 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Hump Day Wednesday morning in rainy, icy conditions in some sections. Let's go to the phones and find out what's been going on in the world of crime fighting. And Officer Mitchell with the Sheriff's Department is on the phone to give us that update. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How about yourself?
Doing well, thank you. Tell us what's on the list.
All right. In the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office responded to 129 calls. Currently have 142 in the jail and processed 5 arrests. As far as incident reports, we've got Tiffany Hauser of Jordan Trail in Boston reported an assault on a female. And as far as arrest reports go, we've got a Brittany Green of Jazz Lane in Boston was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor. She received a $500 secured bond. That's all I've got for you this morning.
Are you aware of any slick conditions out there on the roads this morning?
Not aware yet.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much. Officer Mitchell, you have a great day and be safe out there.
Thanks, sir. You as well.
Bye.
Henson Building Materials is returning to our regular days and hours to better serve the fast-growing building needs of the Forest City area. Our hours will be 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. We'll still be taking safety measures, cleaning, wearing masks, and social distancing, all while our friendly and knowledgeable staff will be taking your orders on a variety of building, remodeling, and DIY projects. With the combined experience of over 50 years, Jamie Earls, Terry Dunaway, and Randy Harrell in our 10,000 square foot showroom will get you in and out, loaded and back to your project, all with the flexibility in ordering. And while you're at it, visit our Homeworks by Henson showroom with our 2 designers for all of your kitchen and bath cabinet and countertop design needs. Time to get out, get busy, and visit Henson Building Materials. Building starts here.
Let's check in now with Jessica over at the Communications Center and find out what's been happening in the past 24 hours. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. What's on the report over there?
In the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 371 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 30 EMS calls, 21 for rescue. Law enforcement Sheriff's Office responded to 129, Forest City to 61, Lake Lure to 1, Rutherford to 46, Spindale to 37. Fire calls, Hudlow responded to a structure fire assisted by Cherry Mountain, Green Hill, and Union Mills. And SDO responded to a structure fire assisted by Rutherford, Sandy Mush, and Green Hill. And that's all we've got.
Just are you aware of any slick roads and overpasses this morning? Have you heard of any?
We have not had any reports of any.
Okay, good deal. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Nobody gets a better deal than the customers of Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. They continue to strive hard to keep that honor. Come on in and see for yourself. Take a look at the all-new design 2021 F-150 or reserve an all-new 2021 Bronco coming in the spring. Don't miss out on the automobile you've been wanting at the Sisk Family Ford price. Take your pick while the picking is good on Oak Street in Forest City.
Checking in now with the Shallow, Danieltown, Oakland community. Ruby Taylor's on the phone to give us the news. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's on that report today, Ruby?
The fire department had a structure fire, and I think they were assisted by Cliffside, Sandy Bush, and Rolfton all. And on my birthday calendar, I've got Jody Allen and Debbie Baynard. Happy birthdays today, and hope they have a nice day. And the signs are in the knees today and going to the legs tomorrow. Jim, that's all I've got.
Thanks, Ruby. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
20 minutes after 7 o'clock, and we're still at 33 degrees here in Rutherfordton.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Gary Wilson has his eye on things further up in the mountainous area of Rutherford County, Fairfield, Bills Creek area. Gary, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
Doing fine. You having to work extra this morning?
I come in a little early just in case we got some ice, but so far we've managed to stay right above freezing. I hope it'll hang on there for a while.
Good, I hope so too.
And about 33 at my house when I left, and about 34 here. So temperatures can vary from spot to spot around here. So if you're going out this morning, just exercise a little care. You could hit a icy spot here and there, but so far I've not heard any reports of any. And we've been quiet overnight. No calls for anything, and everything else is going along pretty good. Had about 0.3 of an inch of rain overnight, just a slow, steady rain all night. And sound like there's ice west of us over toward Ennisville, over in that area there. But right now we're good up here, so hopefully another couple hours it'll be over with.
Good, I hope so. And the next few days are going to be really nice.
They are. Yep, it's going to be a little chilly, but it's going to be nice weather.
Yeah. Well, Gary, I appreciate you keeping your eye on things for us and reporting in, and we hope you have a great day up there and be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, talk to you then.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
We're moving around the county pretty good this morning in spite of the rain. Let's check in now up at the Hudlow Fire District. Bob Hodge, good morning.
Well, good, cold, rainy morning.
It is indeed. Hump Day Wednesday.
Yeah, hump day today, so, but don't look too icy, but they probably have some on overpasses or bridges and stuff like that. You got to be careful if you're driving out this morning. So, and places like that, they freeze pretty quick there if it's down close to freezing anyway.
Yep. Another thing folks need to keep in mind, if you have steps in the back, going out the back door, there may be some steps that may be iced over briefly. So please watch out for those steps, too, because you could easily slip and fall and break a limb.
Yeah. Well, Jim, with the fire department, been fairly quiet. About 1 o'clock this morning, we had a call to a house fire on 1607 Camp Creek Road, and was assisted by Union Mills on that fire. And other than that, pretty quiet this morning, so maybe it'll stay quiet weather. And everybody, if you get out there, just be careful. Driving around this morning on these wet roads, and all. And that's about it, Jim, so far this morning.
All right, Bob, thanks for being available for us. Thanks for the report, and you have a good day up there, and I will see you next time.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's the Bob Hodge report out of the Hudlow Fire District this morning at 7:25.
You can bet when Santa is checking his list and checking it twice, he's going to be doing a lot of his shopping for good ladies and gents at the Recliner Center. Sofas, love seats, rocker recliners, lift chairs. If you or someone you love is having trouble standing, try out the lift chairs. And everything in the store is 10% off. The new hours at the Recliner Center are Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 4, Saturdays, 9 to 2, and Angela will see you by appointment by calling her at 395-3562. And the Recliner Center, again, is giving away a new recliner. All you have to do is send us a card at WCAB, Post Office Box 511, Rutherford, North Carolina, 28139, or just bring it to us here at 191 Whiteside Road in Rutherford. And we'll have the drawing again Christmas Eve, and someone will win a recliner from the Recliner Center. The Recliner Center is located on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherford, and Merry Christmas from the Recliner Center.
726 Friday morning at 8:15 is the big day for the drawing for the Chamber of Commerce Reverse Raffle. $8,000 will go to somebody, $1,500 will go to somebody, and $500 will go to somebody. So if you do not have your ticket, they're still available, few available. So check with me right after 9 o'clock this morning, and we'll get you fixed up too, so you'll be in the drawing and perhaps a big winner for Christmas. Now let's check in over the Cherry Mountain Fire District. That's where Sue Price keeps her eye on things for us. How you doing this morning, Sue?
Good morning, Jim. I'm doing good. Hope you are.
I am indeed.
Well, good. It's a nice, dark, rainy morning over here this morning.
Yeah, I was expected to be icy all over the road and the yard, but it didn't turn out to be that way.
Well,
I'm glad.
I'm glad. But there could be some spots, so people need to drive carefully, and even just the rain can cause a wreck sometimes if you hit a bad spot.
True.
So be careful out there, and just everything will be all right. But I don't have any calls from the fire department, and I don't have a single birthday or anniversary today on my calendar, so don't have anybody celebrating but that I know of. But we hope anybody that has a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day. And in my announcements, the Fairview Baptist Church up in beautiful Golden Valley will be having a drive-through nativity on December the 20th from 6:30 to 8. So everyone's welcome, and come on by and enjoy that. Just to get you in the mood for Christmas. And it's almost here, isn't it?
It really is. I tell you, it's.
These days are passing fast.
I hear it knocking on the door now.
Oh, no. Well, I hope you have a good day today, Jim.
You too, Sue. Be careful, and we'll check with you on Thursday morning.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good morning. As we are experiencing the impact of COVID-19, let's stop predicting and let's prepare. Life changes, and then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called the unexpected. So when it comes to your financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm your Edward Jones financial advisor, Andrew Tisdale. A job loss, a change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call me today at 828-287-9197. Our office is located at Food Line Plaza in Rutherford. This is Edward Jones, making sense of investing, and a member of the SIPC. Bye.
And again, reminder that Isothermal Community College classes and sessions will be in regular schedule today. No cancellations, no delays for them this morning at Isothermal Community College. Now let's head up the roadways to the Shingle Hollow Fire District. And Tina's on the phone to give us the news from there, and perhaps maybe even Green Hill. Good morning, Tina.
Well, hello, Jim. I did hear from Green Hill today, too.
Good.
So I was going to share that. And Trinity Christian School is on a normal schedule this morning, no delays or cancellations. Green Hill helped SDO with a structure fire last night. That's what Tony Sullivan, the chief there, called and let me know. And then Shingle Hollow didn't have any calls. That's what Jeff Jackson let me know that. Temperature's 34 degrees this morning. And there's a little bit of rain in the rain gauge, but I can just see there's a little in there, so probably 0.3 inch. And got some birthdays today. Got a birthday on the Piney Knob calendar. It's Brian Roper. We wish him a great big happy birthday. And then have a Willie B. Hull. She's 97 years young. Now, she lives over in Duncans Creek area, but she used to babysit us when we were little kids, and it's a special lady. So
Sure.
I wish her a great big birthday. And then Willie Austin, Terry Tony, Nell Kraft, and Jimmy Baynard all have birthdays. So wishing them great big days. And my husband called me and said there wasn't really any ice, but to be careful out there, because if that temperature drops a couple degrees, we'll be slipping around.
Yeah, it doesn't have to drop very much because we're right on the edge now. So please, that's good advice. And tell your husband thank you for keeping us alert on that, because he's out there on the road. If anybody runs across any icy conditions, please let us know that, because we want to keep everybody safe, because Santa Claus is coming.
That's right. Santa Claus is coming, and I've been good this year.
Are you sure? Are you sure, Tina?
I am so positive. I have been extra nice.
I bet you have. Well, that's good. That's one more good year for you.
Right. Well, everybody have a great day. Stay safe and stay warm.
See you, Martina. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Your Christmas music station for the Foothills is WCAB Rutherfordton. Stay with us throughout the season for your favorites. WCAB Rutherfordton.
And we're playing a lot of the requests that we get in with the cards that are being sent in to be in the drawing for the recliner. And a lot of your requests Christmas songs. We're doing our best to insert some of those throughout our playlist time. All Christmas music between now and Christmas Day. Now let's head up toward the Union Mills station and see if we can get a report out of Brenda Kelly this morning. How you doing?
I'm fine. How about yourself on this wonderful wet Wednesday morning?
Wonderful, and it was wet, but I'm dried off a little bit now.
You're going, it's cold, too.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, but we're inside, and it's warm, so that's good. I don't know of anything going on. I don't have any birthdays. I started to hear about that house fire out here on Camp Creek Road. That's the road I live on, so, or off of. I don't live on it. I live off of it. But I believe he said 16-something. That's out there just before you get to the church.
Well, I hope nobody was injured.
Well, I hope not either. Of course, I don't never hear nothing from the fire departments. They ain't never called me, so. But that's all right. I've managed to do this for, 20-something years now and hadn't heard from them.
It'd be good for them to let you know those things, though, so we pass it in. Because it's important for people to know what's going on, to avoid areas where there's been a wreck or avoid areas where there's a fire. And it's good for people to know those things.
But my hat off to Bob Hodge. He does a fine job on it.
He does, indeed.
He does, yeah. I've got 30 degrees on the front porch, and everybody just be careful. I don't know if it'll get any worse or if it'll get better, but it's supposed to be like this about all day, ain't it?
Well, by this afternoon, it may start changing a little bit. Tonight, we have a 50% chance of some precipitation tonight, so it'll start tapering off a little bit. It was not raining as heavy now as it was when I came in this morning. It started slacking off a little bit. But tomorrow, we got highs around 47, Friday 49, Saturday 49, and Sunday 52 degrees, but Saturday night it changes to 32 and some maybe a 20% chance. So within that, they're saying there is a chance of a rain mixture and snow mixture on early Sunday morning, but no accumulation to amount to anything.
Yeah. So. Well, not at 52 degrees, no.
No, it won't hang around very long, will it?
No, it sure won't. But I don't know of anything going on, so I guess you better go check on Luther, Sweet Thing, Gilligan, and see if everything's all right in Ellenboro.
You be careful up there, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, catch you later.
All right, bye-bye. At McCurry Deck Motors, you can browse a selection of vehicles that includes all of the top models in Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC lineups. The McCurry Deck Motors lineup of vehicles checks all the boxes, ensuring that they will have the perfect vehicle for any car shopper that visits their lot. Come visit and see what's in store for you and your family with the McCurry Deck quality reputation of fair deals and customer service. Try the Chevy. Find new roads with Chevy. At McCurry Deck Motors, we're the home of Chevy, Buick, and GMC. 1740 U.S. Highway 74A, Forest City.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Now let's head over toward Ellensboro, and talk with the man about town, Luther Sweet Thing Gilligan. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, you two. Man, it got milled out there this morning.
Yeah, that's right.
It's rather damp.
You stay out of that
Cold
rain, man.
rain.
You stay out of that rain. We don't want you to melt.
I'm going to try to stay dry today, but looked out all day, it was 34 degrees, and don't have any ice or freezing rain yet. So hopefully we'll get by without that. But it's quiet there this morning, middle of the week, heading downhill from here. So everything is going good, nothing happening. Fire department didn't have any calls all day yesterday and all night last night. Everything quiet this morning. So, Jim, you have a good day up there, and we'll see what happens today and tell you about it tomorrow.
I have a friend who would like to meet you. I'm going to have to set up a coffee time with you and my friend, and he said he'd like to meet you, talk with you a little bit, get better acquainted with you. So we'll do that one of these days. You got a fan club out there, Luther. You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that.
Yep. Well, we'll have to set that meeting up so you two can meet and chat a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have a cup of coffee together.
That'll be good. All right.
Yeah, I always have a cup of coffee. Take care.
Be safe out there, and I'll see you next time.
All right.
All right. Bye. 7:37 here on this Wednesday morning, Hump Day Wednesday morning, and it's time for us to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. If you'll call yours into us, we'll give you a big shout-out this morning. 287-3356 is that phone number. We've cleared the phone lines for you to call yours in, birthdays and anniversaries. We'd like to help you celebrate, help you make it a good day. So if you know someone that is having a birthday or were married on this date, call us now. Todd's standing by to take that call at 287-3356. Birthdays and anniversaries coming up next.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Well, every time I go by Granny B's, folks come in buying those donuts by leaps and bounds. They'll buy one or they'll buy a dozen or half a dozen. They got a great choice. If you've not tried Granny B's Daylight Donuts, you're missing something, folks. I'll tell you, they are the best in the world. The whole wide world. Oh, that's another thing. All right, let's see. Todd had no birthday calls in this morning, but DeWalt and Shirley Kuhn celebrating an anniversary today on the 16th of the month. So we want to wish those two a happy anniversary and many more happy returns. Now, coming up, Keys to Confident Living, and we'll take you down some memory lane with some classic Christmas music. Your Christmas station heard right here at 100.9 FM, 590 AM. Pass that word.
verses 1 to 3 of the 23rd Psalm, the psalmist refers to the Good Shepherd as He. Then a change takes place in verse 4. It is now much more personal. He is far more intimate in his relationship than he was previously. It is now, you are with me, rather than He is with me. He is not talking to someone else, but rather talking directly to God. But we also find that the psalmist has entered into a different set of circumstances. He is now going through a time of testing and difficulty that require the shepherd's presence even more. Philip Keller, in his book A Shepherd Looks at Psalm 23, says, "During my wife's illness and after her death, I could not get over the strength, the solace, and serene outlook imparted to me virtually hour after hour by the presence of God's gracious Spirit Himself. It was as if I was being repeatedly refreshed and restored despite the most desperate circumstances all around me. Unless one has actually gone through such an experience, it may seem difficult to believe. In fact, there are those who claim they could not face such a situation. But for the man or the woman who walks with God through these valleys, such real and actual refreshment is available." This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for today's Key to Confident Living are now available in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
Your Christmas music station for the foothills is WCAB Rutherfordton. Stay with us throughout the season for your favorites. WCAB Rutherfordton.
giving you the stamina you need to handle your day-to-day activities. And that's what Balance of Nature is. Whole fruits and vegetables delivered to you in a convenient capsule form for only 22 cents a serving. Our proprietary blend has no additives or fillers, just the full nutritional value of 31 different fruits and vegetables. Balance of Nature provides you with a natural energy boost without a caffeine crash, a 3 o'clock slump, or an early bedtime. Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself by going to balanceofnature.com or by calling 1-800-2468-751 and use discount code FRUITS.
Protests in Rochester, New York overnight after a report found no policy or ethical violations in connection with the death of an African-American man back in March. Daniel Prue died after an encounter with police while he was having mental health issues. The European Union today unveiling plans to revamp its dated cybersecurity rules. This comes days after someone cracked the European Medicines Agency and got a look at coronavirus vaccine information. It also comes on the heels of that hacker attack on several U.S. agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security. The mayor of Dodge City, Kansas, has resigned after getting threatening phone calls and emails over her support for a rule requiring that people wear masks. Joyce Warshaw stepped down yesterday. Local police are investigating some of the threats. And don't cross Tom Cruise when it comes to social distancing and staying safe from the coronavirus.
Tom Cruise is a stickler for social distancing.
I don't ever want to see it again. Ever.
Audio reportedly of the actor obtained by The Sun, Cruise tearing into workers on the set of Mission Impossible 7 who failed to social distance. The Sun says the two were sharing a computer.
If I see it again, you're gone.
Cruise is a producer on the movie, saying worrying about the jobs and livelihoods of the crew and the future of the industry keeps him up at night.
We are not shutting this movie down.
It's not clear when the recording was made. The film is currently shooting in the UK. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
This is ABC News.
Ready to create your own income with your own home-based business where there's no such thing as getting laid off? If a billionaire entrepreneur spent 5 years and $20 million searching for the next big trend, wouldn't you want to know what he found? If you're serious about making money from home without having to leave home, then write this down. www.goherenext.com. You decide your income. Get the facts now. Goherenext.com.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Let Jesse James Railroad Express be your daily lunch stop. Enjoy delicious burgers, clubs, fresh salads, and much more. And now Jesse has an incredible daily lunch special that you cannot resist. 2 hot dogs, a bag of chips, and a 16-ounce drink for only $4.99. Now that's what I call a lunch special. Now don't forget your refreshing Coke float, Dr. Pepper float, or an orange creamsicle float, or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. Open Monday through Friday, 11 till 6, Saturday, 11 till 4, closed Wednesday and Sundays. Located at 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton. Call 828-447-4644 for takeout orders. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express. And Mondays only, mention this ad, get a regular hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions for only 99 cents.
Partly cloudy with rain likely throughout today. Lows around 30 for tonight with a chance of precip about 50% tonight. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs around 47. 27 again tomorrow night on Thursday. Friday night, 26 with partly cloudy skies and light wind. Saturday, partly cloudy with highs around 49. And overnight, 32. And then Sunday, we have highs around 52 with a chance of 20% precipitation. Have a good day.
Looks like after Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday is looking pretty good. Maybe it'll roll out on into Christmas. We'll see in a few days what Christmas weather is going to look like. We hope it's going to be a good one. If we can't have a white Christmas, I hope it's going to be pleasant anyway, and maybe even sunny skies. A little just enough brisk in the air to make you feel like it's wintertime, but no bad weather on Christmas. Maybe a little snow would be nice. Wake up with Frosty the Snowman out there waving at us or something like that. Well, my friend Tam over at Tam's Tack Antiques and Merchandise is doing some different things over there, and she's inviting you to come by this week. All tack and writing apparel priced over $15 will be 60% off. Yeah, all tack and writing apparel has been liquidated this week, and all tack and writing apparel priced over $15 will be 60% off. Please stop by and enjoy the sales and say hello to Tam and watch for the information on the new equestrian studio coming soon.
Happy holidays and God bless you. Towns Tack is located at 661 Big Island Road in Forest City. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. Towns Tack Antiques and Merchandise. Well, we got a lot to talk about this hour, a lot of news, local news and stuff to go about. And I do want to remind you, though, that it's not too late to get your chamber raffle ticket. Now, we'll be drawing 2 days from this morning. Right about now, and on Friday morning, we'll be shaping up, getting that big box and roll them around and have a live drawing here on the radio and on our website at www.wcab59.com. I'm waving at you folks watching this morning. Good morning. And we'll also be Facebook streaming that as well. So get your tickets early. We've got a few left over here in our studio, so come on by and get your tickets. Stand a chance of winning some great Christmas money. And you're always, of course, supporting the Chamber of Commerce. It does such a great job supporting our local businesses and industries right here in our own county. 191 Whiteside Road is where we're located. Let's look at some stories from here and there coming up right after this.
At Smith Drugs of Forest City, we have a number of vaccines, including the Quad-Vac flu immunization at no cost with most insurance plans. If you have any concerns about the flu vaccination, please call our pharmacy and ask to speak to one of our pharmacists. We also have the Tdap, pneumococcal, and shingles vaccinations available. With COVID-19 continuing, we have masks, mask lanyards, hand sanitizers, disinfectant spray, and gloves while supplies last. Seating in our fountain is still limited to 65 patrons on a first-come, first-served basis. We are continuing to offer curbside pickup for the fountain and prescription pickup. Please utilize our drive-through prescription window at the back of the store. And remember that our back entrance is still closed to the public at this time. Please check our Facebook page for any updates on over-the-counter and gift shop items. Our home medical equipment department is ready to help you with any of your CPAP needs, mobility, bathroom safety, lift chairs, and any diabetic needs to include meters, test strips, and shoes. Please call us with any questions you may have about any of our services or message us on our Facebook page. We are located at 139 East Main Street in downtown Forest City, and our phone number is 828-245-4591.
Well, the Tryon Daily Bulletin is reporting that almost $1 million worth of meth was seized over there. The Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office arrested 2 people this week on methamphetamine charges after a large-scale investigation that resulted in the seizure of almost $1 million worth of meth. Elizabeth Jane Long, 33 of Caldwell Street, Campobella, and Greg Marlon Williams, 43 of Ferry Road, Campobella, were arrested and charged with trafficking and methamphetamine over 400 grams, according to the sheriff's report. Sheriff's Office officials said their narcotics division initiated an investigation into a drug organization based in Spartanburg County. The narcotics unit developed information that a large amount of meth was being brought into the county, and surveillance was set up along Interstate 85 this week. With the help of the Anderson County Sheriff's Office Interdiction Team and Spartanburg County Interstate Criminal Enforcement, the ICE team, a traffic stop was executed on the suspect vehicle on Highway 101 around 5:30 Tuesday. Officers searched the vehicle and discovered 10 milligrams of meth as well as $3,500. Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office officials said the street value of the meth is estimated at $930,000. The investigation is still active, with sheriff's officers saying more arrests may result in that case. Tryon Daily Bulletin reporting that story. I'm glad they got folks like that off of the street. Are you? If you're just waking up and wondering, Isothermal Community College classes will be held on regular schedule today. So keep that in mind. You got to go to school or go to work, whatever the case may be. There's a picture out there from World Net Daily News Service, published the 14th, that Joe Biden's dogs he has a picture of Joe Biden's dog destroying a Trump doll. Joe Biden's dogs have their own Twitter account, on which has been uploaded images of them chewing on their toy, which is a likeness of President Donald Trump. Joe Biden has an Instagram account for his dogs, and they just posted pictures of them using the president as chew toy. Unity and healing, they say. So there you go. Train that dog to be mean. Well, if you didn't vote for Joe Biden for president, and the former vice president actually takes office on January 20th, you're probably worrying yourself over the prospect that it'll turn into a de facto third term for Barack Obama. Some of you have mentioned that to me. Others are thinking, well, it'll be Barack Obama's legal. He can't run another term, but he'll be a de facto third term president for Barack Obama. Well, if you listen to Barack Obama, you needn't worry. It's definitely going to turn into a third term for him. Granted, when he appeared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert late last month, Obama didn't say it in as many words, but he couldn't, because portraying Joe Biden as the Dmitry Medvedev to his Vladimir Putin might seem a bit off to Americans. But in fact, the way he phrased it meant that it mostly flew under the radar for a few weeks. However, in an interview he did with late night TV's most Democrat booster, we were treated to some grade A unintentional honesty. Asked if he missed his old job when he looked at the headlines from the Trump administration, Obama mentioned that there were plenty of people who wanted him to have a third term. Alas, there was this pesky 22nd Amendment limiting him to 2 terms. But wait, there's a catch. Quote, if I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats looking through the stuff, then deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking, I'd be fine with that, end quote, Obama said. Quote, if I found the work fascinating, even on my worst days, I found puzzling out these big, complicated, difficult issues, especially if you're working with some great people, to be professionally really satisfying. But I do not miss having to wear a tie every day, end quote. There seems to be a genuine loathing among us conservatives when talk show hosts or other entertainment figures bring Democrat politicians on for interviews and treat them with uncritical adoration, fall to their feet and worship them almost. I'll never get this, because if you want to hear Barack Obama say the quiet part out loud, the best chance you have is when you've got Stephen Colbert sitting across from him with puppy dog eyes, feeding Obama softball questions at the same time he's feeding his ego. The exact situation Obama is describing would be difficult to pull off, although given his former second-in-command's reliance on the teleprompter, Obama feeding Biden lines while the 44th president was in the basement in his sweats isn't as far out of the question as you might think. In a more general sense, however, the idea that a potential Biden presidency could be shaping up to a third term for Obama is something even the media is doing a grimace emoji over. Biden has been crystal clear on 2 public policy goals: signing back onto the Iran nuclear deal and the Paris Climate Agreement. Both were signature moments, literally, of the Obama administration. Neither actually accomplished what it was intended to do. The Iran deal did nothing to deter Tehran from obtaining a nuclear weapon in the long run, and the Paris Accord will do little to reduce climate changes. When it comes to specific personnel, Biden wants to nominate Anthony Blinken, who played a role in plenty of Obama-era foreign policy disasters, including military intervention in Libya, as the Secretary of State, according to the Associated Press. John Kerry, who ran the State Department during the second Obama administration, is in line to be Biden's special presidential envoy for climate. Jen Psaki, a State Department spokeswoman under Obama, is Biden's choice for the White House press secretary. Obama's Secretary of Agriculture was former Iowa Governor Tom Vilsack. Biden's Secretary of Agriculture, if all goes as planned, according to CNN, will be former Iowa Governor Tom Vilsack. Obama Surgeon General Vivek H. Murthy is said to become Biden's Surgeon General, according to CNN. Ron Klain was Biden's chief of staff when he was vice president.
Biden wants him to be his chief of staff again, this time for a more attractive office. Susan Rice, former National Security Advisor under Obama, is Biden's choice to head up the White House Domestic Policy Council. National Public Radio noted that as of Saturday, of 16 Biden cabinet picks, 12 were Obama appointees. 12 out of the 16 were Obama appointees. The best thing that could be said at this point is that Ben Rhodes, Obama's Deputy National Security Advisor and Foreign Policy Bro, hasn't yet been offered a job by Biden, although you get the feeling that might be just because no one's reminded Biden yet. No one can express some happiness, I suppose, that Biden hasn't gone the other way and chosen Representative Ilhan Omar for a potential Secretary of State. However, there are other competent liberal careerists that could fill a cabinet who weren't part of the 44th president's term. A potential Biden administration has been filled with talent curated and nurtured by former President Obama, and rest assured they're going to be answering his phone calls if they come, or rather when they come. Just before Obama got a bit too candid about his de facto third term, Colbert and the former president had another curious back and forth. At about 5:40, marking the video, this out on the web, Colbert mentioned that Michelle Obama had requested he stop calling her the former First Lady or Madam First Lady. It's just Michelle from now on. Mr. President, is there anything you'd like to say to me? Colbert asked, implying maybe it was time for Mr. Obama or Barack. Nope, Obama responded. There was an awkward pause. Colbert licked his pen. You know what? I take that back. You don't have to call me Mr. President. You can just call me President. Yes, I get it. It was a joke, so was a third term quip. Obama, the comedian, probably should have read the room a bit better, but you think Obama's not having influence in the appointments of these folks in this administration? You got to be kidding. He certainly is. It's 19 past 8 o'clock, Hump Day Wednesday. You know, there is a lot of misleading information about Medicaid eligibility. The Arledge Law Firm would like for you to know the truth. For instance, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your home. That's not true. Another one is, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. Again, not true. And this big one, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. Not true, not true, not true. Call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm and get free consultation and learn the truth. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify for nursing home care and not lose everything you own. It's worth a call to Arledge Law Firm at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherfordton.
Give Santa a helping hand this season with holiday gift ideas from the Burnt Chimney Gifts and Decor, a showroom full of exquisite handcrafted jewelry, furniture, florals, wooden flags, gorgeous Christmas wreaths, ornaments, hand-poured candles and soaps, collectibles, elegant, re-loved, shabby chic furniture, and the store is filled with merchandise made with love by local artists right here in Rutherford County. Hours are Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 10 to 6, Thursday, 11 to 7. Walking through their door will put a smile on yours and Santa's faces. Shop local. Shop the Burnt Chimney Gifts and Decor, located at 483 South Broadway in Forest City. The number 828-803-2565.
You will love that store, folks. I guarantee you'll love that store. Go by and see it right on Broadway there, Burnt Chimney. You'll love it. You'll love it. You'll love it.
Do you need some extra money in your pocket? Try Insurance Service Associates, your local independent agent. We can shop your auto and home insurance with several companies to get you better coverage and the best rate. Insurance Service Associates at 127 East Trade Street in Forest City for auto, home, or commercial insurance. More choices, better coverage, best rate. That's Insurance Service Associates, 245-5301.
Christmas is just around the corner. If you haven't visited Cozy on Main, located inside the former Grand Cash store on Main Street in Forest City, there's no better time than Christmas time. They have a huge assortment of Christmas pillows, throws, kitchen and bath towels, placemats, table runners, flannel sheets, old-fashioned quilts, mattress pads, comfy bed and floor pillows, baby blankets, and much more. Cozy on Main also does monogramming, a popular favorite for just about everyone. A nice and friendly staff to help you look for exactly what you want. That's Cozy on Main in the former Grand Cash building on Main Street, Forest City. Tell them WCAB sent you.
Here's a situation. You want to have a good meal for the holidays, but you're just not up to preparing for all those folks or coming in, or you have a few folks coming in. When you want something good to eat, you want someone else to do the holiday cooking for you, Fat Tracy's can do that. When you want an apple smoked sliced boneless ham, Fat Tracy can do that for you. When you want a delicious meal with 2 sides to feed 8 to 10 people and you choose the sides, Fat Tracy's can do that. Place your order by December the 19th, and you can pick it up on the 23rd of December. Now, isn't that easy? If you have family or guests coming over for Christmas dinner, Fat Tracy's can help you with that. Place your order at 287-5004. That's 287-5004. Place your order by December the 19th, and it'll be ready for pickup on the 23rd. Ask about all the delicious desserts that are available, too. Fat Tracy's will be closed Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but will reopen on Saturday, December the 16th. Call today, 287-5004, and relax. 287-5004. Fat Tracy's can handle that for you. Officer Mitchell was on the radio with us earlier. He gave us a report from the Sheriff's Department. We recorded it for broadcast at this time. Officer Mitchell?
In the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office responded to 129 calls. Currently have 142 in the jail and processed 5 arrests. As far as incident reports, we've got Tiffany Hauser of Jordan Trail in Boston reported an assault on a female. And as far as arrest reports go, we've got a Brittany Green of Jazz Lane in Boston was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor. She received a $500 secured bond. That's all I've got for you this morning.
Sports Update is next here on the program in 8:30 this morning. Word of Faith Fellowship program. I'll be available after 9 o'clock this morning to let you get a ticket for the Chamber of Commerce reverse raffle. Could win $8,000.
NCN Sports. Good morning. I'm Tony Rixby. Victor Bailey had 13 points. Number 10, Tennessee, put its stifling defense on full display in a 79-38 victory over Appalachian State last night. The Volunteers holding Appalachian scoreless for the first 6 minutes and 22 seconds while jumping out to a 13-0 lead. Well, we have a new winningest coach in the history of women's college basketball. With Stanford's victory last night over Pacific, 104-61, Tara Vanderveer became the winningest coach ever, passing the late Pat Head Summit with 1,099 career victories at a school she loves.
But it was a weird thing I had in the back of my mind. If there was a perfect job, a dream job, it was Stanford.
As if dealing with a pandemic isn't enough, Major League Baseball may be headed for more labor trouble. Here's Peter King.
After last season's final out, strike 3. Dodgers have won it all in 2020. You couldn't blame baseball fans who wanted more, but The Athletic reports that MLB wants players to consider playing another shortened season, 130 games starting in May rather than the usual 162 that would start in April. There are many variables, including the question of how widely available a COVID vaccine would be by then, how many fans would be allowed at games, and more that affects how much money comes in. Owners say they lost billions this past year. Players stand to lose salary in a shorter season, and for now, they've said no to that. Peter King, CBS News.
Free agent catcher James McCann signing a $40 million contract for 4 years with the New York Mets. Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson, and Ohio State enter championship weekend in position to make the college football playoffs with very little drama. Clemson and Notre Dame will be playing in the ACC championship game coming up on Saturday. You're listening to NCN Sports.
North Carolina's voters have spoken. How can you make sense of what they said?
Carolina Journal can help. Reporters and columnists look at how the elections will affect your wallets, your businesses, your safety, your children's education. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your best source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Personal foul, driver and passenger. Failure to wear a seatbelt, $179 penalty. Avoid a penalty in life. Be a good sport. Buckle up every time you're on the road. Wearing a seatbelt saves lives. Every passenger, every seat, every time. Remember to click it or ticket. This message brought to you by the Governor's Highway Safety Program's Click It or Ticket Initiative and the North Carolina High School Athletic Association.
COVID-19 limitations on fans attending sporting events in California could force a change for the Rose Bowl set to take place on New Year's Day. More from CBS News correspondent Steve Futterman in Los Angeles.
College football's original bowl game, the Rose Bowl, could be altered because of COVID-19. The upcoming Rose Bowl on New Year's Day is supposed to be a semifinal game, part of college football's playoffs, but some want the game moved because fans will not be allowed to attend. One possible replacement, Arlington, Texas, where some fans would be allowed. In 1942, during World War II, the Rose Bowl was moved for 1 year to Durham, North Carolina. Steve Futterman, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And if you visit Wallace Wade Stadium in Durham today, you can see rose bushes that were donated by the Rose Bowl Committee back in 1942. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
Partly cloudy with rain likely throughout today. Lows around 30 for tonight with a chance of precip about 50% tonight. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs around 47. 27 again tomorrow night on Thursday. Friday night, 26 with partly cloudy skies and light wind. Saturday, partly cloudy with highs around 49. And overnight, 32. And then Sunday, we have highs around 52 with a chance of 20% precipitation. Have a good day.
It's still raining, and we're holding at 33 degrees right now. Should be warming up pretty good to about 39 as far as we're going with our temperature gauge. With the wind chill value as low as 31, with that wind gusting today about 13 miles per hour. So it's going to be a chilly and wet one throughout this hump day Wednesday morning, but it's another great getting up morning in spite of all of that. It's 8:30. This is WCAB, serving the foothills of the Carolinas. 100.9 FM, 590 AM. This is WCAB. It's time now for the Word of Faith radio program, and with the program this morning is Mike Doyle. Good morning.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Mark Doyle with Word of Faith Fellowship in Spindale, North Carolina, and have some things that I really believe God put in my heart to share with you. So we'll get right in on it. There's a verse in Psalms 34, verse 19, that says, "Many evils confront the consistently righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all." And so we see in this day and hour, there's so many things going on, and people are going through so many things. It seems like I've heard so many disasters and tragedies with people's lives. It's really been like escalating and getting stronger. And I deal with the public a lot with sales and real estate. And I've seen that people make so many decisions out of fear, out of what's going on. And what can be our anchor? What is our rock through these things? Because the scriptures are very clear on it, and that is my news. You know, the news is bombards us all the time about what they said and what they think and what this should be and what that should be. But the bottom line is, what does God say about things? And He's given mankind the Word of God to anchor our souls throughout all the ages, and especially in the time that we live in now. It was so interesting because I've been weighing out getting a new car, and I was with a salesman at a car dealership, and we were all just talking about natural things and the car and why this is a good car and why this is a good aspect of the car. And all of a sudden, this salesman, he's an older gentleman, turns to me, he says, "I believe we're in the last days." And we didn't discuss anything about current events or anything. But that was the heaviest thing on his heart. And he turned to me and said that. And I said, I truly do believe that also. And so that's a common thing now when I'm dealing with people or helping people out, is there's this sense in people that things are happening like never before. And so what am I doing with that? What are you doing with current events and what's going on in the earth and the world and how things are so changing? And you cannot put your trust in what man says, because you can see even in the news that on this date they say this, and on this date they say the complete opposite. So people are learning not to put their trust in mainstream media, so to speak. But what do you put your trust in? Do you switch to a different media outlet? Or do you seek God with all your heart so that you can walk with Jesus and hear what God has to say every moment of every day of our lives, so that we are ready when Jesus comes? So, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. So whatever lies ahead, if we walk with God, if we are righteous, consistently righteous, which is living a lifestyle, being in right standing with God. And that's something that I seek every day of my life. Jesus, is my heart right with you? And there's so many things that come up in our days on a daily basis that can cause our hearts not to be right. The way someone speaks to us, the way things don't work out, a sale falls through, a pipe breaks out in the house, all kinds of things can happen that all of a sudden your heart cannot be right. And that's what we're learning at the Word of Faith, to walk in love, to walk in the love of God with each other, to love God with all our heart, to walk in love in every area of our life. But this Psalms 34, I want to go over some of it with you this morning because it's so powerful. In verse 4 of Psalms 34, it says, I sought, inquired of the Lord, and required him of necessity and on the authority of his word. And he heard me. That's so important. David knew that God heard him when he sought God with his whole heart. And listen to this. He heard me and he delivered me from all my fears. And like I said a few minutes ago, so many people are making decisions these days out of fear. What will happen with the economy? What will happen with this? What happens in the elections? And they're making their decisions out of fear rather than seeking God out of that vital necessity on the authority of his word. Whatever you say, that's what I'm going to do. Wait, move forward, move, stay, whatever it is. Buy it, don't buy it. It's going to be the voice of God coming to you and me. And he delivered me from all my fears. God doesn't want you and me to live in fear. He wants us to live in confidence, knowing that our hearts are right with him and that each step that we take, we're in the protection of God. Because I've seen in these days, a lot of people do not have that hedge of protection on their life, and they get out of the will of God and it costs them their life. And that's such a serious thing. And it's something that throughout my life, I've watched it. I've watched those people that have walked with God, and then their heart gets stolen away. And they do what seems right to them, a path that seems better to them. But that protection of God, it's gone. And the tragedy and the calamity come. And I've seen, like it says, there's going to be affliction. There's going to be all kinds of things that confront the righteous. We're all going to go through things. But when you go through it, will it destroy you, or will it be that consistent lifestyle of where you do seek God and you do want to know him and you do want to be right with him? And then when you go through the storm or the battle or the calamity and you lose a loved one or something terrible happens, you have an anchor, and his name is Jesus. And you have the word of God to teach you how to walk through whatever God has you walking through, whatever the devil's assignment at your life is. You have God. And that's what I think, if anything, that's what we can check our hearts out today. It says, they looked to him and were radiant. Their faces shall shine, never blush for shame or be confused. And then I love this verse. It says in verse 6, this poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. All his troubles. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him. When you cry out to God, you can be a rich person in the natural. You can have plenty of wealth and have tragedy come to you, something that's totally out of your control and out of your power. But if you cry out to God with all your heart, he will deliver you out of all your troubles. I mean, there's things where people lose like family members and go through horrible things, but when they cry out to God, there's something that happens, and God begins to deliver you from those tragedies. The angel of the Lord, it says in verse 7, encamps around those who fear him. That's what we want. We want the angel of the Lord to encamp around us, who revere and worship him with awe, and each of them he delivers. So I want to be that person that reveres God and worships him and is surrounded by God's protection, and God will deliver me. In verse 9 it says, "Oh, fear the Lord, you saints. Revere and worship him, for there is no want to those who truly revere and worship him with godly fear." And that's what we want. That's what I want in my heart. I want that true godly reverential fear for God, that he comes first and he will deliver me. It says, "The young lions lack food and suffer hunger, but they who seek, inquire of, and require the Lord by right of their need and on the authority of his word, none of them shall lack any beneficial thing." I mean, they can run out of toilet paper at the grocery stores. They can run out of ground meat. They can, whatever it is, like we went through during the shutdown. But if you trust God, it won't get to you. You won't have this fear of, well, I got to get some. I got to stock up on some. You can stock up your freezer, and the power go out, and you lose everything in your freezer. Anything can happen. But if you put your trust in God, God will provide. That's something I believe that God's doing in all our hearts these days. Everyone. He's proving and he's testing us to see what we're going to do. And so even within this pandemic, there's such demonic attack on so many people. What are we doing through it? Are we getting closer to God? Are we learning to trust him? Or are we losing that place and keeping our eyes on the storm, on the battle, on the lack of, and the running out of things? I mean, at what point do you begin to learn to trust Jesus with your life? At what point do you be like Elijah in the wilderness and the ravens feed you? And that happened. And there was famine in the land, and yet God provided for the righteous. And that's what we want. We want to learn through what we're going through right now, so we're prepared for what lies ahead. Because we know from the scriptures that the word of God says that as it gets closer to Jesus' second coming, it's going to get so bad, it's going to be the worst the world has ever seen. And there's been some very dark days in the history of mankind. But the days ahead that we're facing are the worst the world has ever seen. And we want to walk with God. It says that they will get brighter and stronger, those that walk with God during the dark days. So in verse 17 it says, "When the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their distress and troubles." When the righteous cry for help. So if I'm not walking with God, the scriptures are really clear. What happens if I cry to God? We'll look at that in a minute here. But to me, that's such an important aspect of life, is I want to know that God hears me. You want to know that God hears you when you cry out to him. And he does. And he delivers you out of all your distress and all your trouble. And again, verse 19, "Many evils confront the consistently righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. The Lord is close to those who are of a broken heart and saves such as are crushed with sorrow for sin and are humbly and thoroughly penitent." That's a work of God that is every day of our lives. Every day, just being broken before God. I can't do anything without you, Jesus. And not putting our trust in our ability, in our strength, in our bank account, in the people we know, and this one can help me here, and that one can do that for me here. But our dependence is on God in everything. Inquiring of God, hearing from God, when to go to the store, when to drive, which way you drive. All these things are important because we can see one wrong decision can cost us our life. The days are evil. And so this is something for years God has been working in our hearts at the word of faith. And it was mocked, it was scoffed, but I'm so grateful for it. It's been the thing, that restraint of God, to inquire of God before you go, and you do. It's a place of safety and protection. It's not an evil thing. It's a good thing to be led and controlled by the Spirit of God. It's a good thing to put your trust in God and not think you know everything about everything, but to be humble and be like Jesus, say, "I can of my own self do nothing. But as I hear, then I judge." Those are Jesus' words in John 5:30. That's how he lived as a man. That's how God came in the earth as a man and lived to show us how to live, is to be humble and to say, I can of my own self do nothing, but as I hear the voice of God, then I make the decision. And then the decision is just and right. And that's the life that God's called you and me to live. And these scriptures are just full of that. It says in verse 21, evil shall cause the death of the wicked, and they who hate the just and righteous shall be held guilty and shall be condemned. So I don't want to be wicked, and I don't want to judge and hate the righteous, because in the end, I'll stand before God for that. I'll be condemned, and I don't want that to happen to me, and you definitely don't want that to happen to you. The Lord redeems the lives of his servants, verse 22, and none of those who take refuge and trust in him shall be condemned or held guilty. Let me read that again. None of those who take refuge and trust in him shall be condemned or held guilty. Wouldn't that be the best thing to happen when you stand before God one day? Because we all will. It says in Psalms 10:4, the wicked in his haughtiness of his face will not seek nor require of him. All his thoughts are, listen to this, there is no God, so there is no accountability or punishment. But there is a God. There is God Almighty and his Son Jesus and the Holy Spirit. The three are one. And we will stand before God one day. And there will be a judgment for what we did. The scriptures are very clear. And when you live your life that way, you get closer and closer to God, not farther and farther away from God. It says that in Hebrews 9, verse 27, and just as it is appointed for all men once to die, and after that, the certain judgment. So you can think that all you want, that there's no accountability, that no, you will never have to answer for the things you do in darkness and secret, and where you attack God and God's ways. But every man is appointed once to die. There is no reincarnation. This is it. This is the life I have. I got one. And what I do with it determines where I spend eternity. And you have one life to live, it says right here. And then when you die, then all that waits you is the judgment. And the judgment is standing at the court of God and answering for what you did with your life, what you did with the motives of your heart. I mean, that should be ever before us. If we live our life that way, then we will live accountably. We won't make excuses. We won't blame others. We will take responsibility for our decisions, and we'll seek God with everything in us to do things the right way. And then it will turn out good in the end. Even so it is that Christ, this is verse 28, having been offered to take upon himself and bear as a burden the sins of many once and once for all. Aren't you so grateful Jesus did that for you and me? He bore our sins if we are humble enough to receive the sacrifice. Will appear a second time. Jesus is coming back. He's coming back. If he said it, it will come to pass, and he said it. He will appear a second time, not to carry any burden of sin, so he's not going to the cross again, nor to deal with sin. He's not coming to deal with our sin at that point. It's being dealt with now, if you're allowing it. But to bring to full salvation, listen to this, those who are eagerly, constantly, and patiently waiting for and expecting him. And so sometimes it doesn't seem like this is happening as soon as we think it should. That's patience. The Bible says patience is a virtue. It's a good quality. So as you go through your life, day by day, and things don't change like you think they should, be patient. Believe God. Be constant. Consistently seeking God with all of your heart. Because when he comes back, that's who he's coming back for. Those who are eagerly, constantly, and patiently waiting for and expecting him. If I live my life every day expecting Jesus is coming back today, Jesus is coming back, I want to be ready, Jesus, then you live differently. But if it doesn't even cross your mind, if you don't even think there is a God, then you're going to live your life for yourself. You're going to make wrong decisions. You're going to do evil, wicked things, and you won't be ready when he comes. And it will be a very sad day. That day, you'll come when you're not expecting it, when you're not aware of it, and then it'll be too late. In Proverbs chapter 1, starting verse 24, it says, this is God speaking, because I have called and you have refused to answer, have stretched out my hand, and no man has heeded it. Has God called on you, called to you? Yes. He's called to me. God calls out to all of us every day, calling out. But do we refuse to answer him? And you treated as nothing all my counsel. I mean, the word of God is full of the counsel of God, the ministers of God, the people of God. I mean, God, you can use a donkey to speak to someone. And you treated as nothing all my counsel and would accept none of my reproof. And that has always been a serious place in my heart, places I can look at my life where I did not accept the reproof of God. God corrects us. He deals with our hearts. The scriptures are full of God dealing with his people, dealing with mankind, to put that in their heart, to turn to God, to get things right. But if you're uncorrectable, if you're unteachable, then that's you. And that was me. That was my life for so long. And I can't think of anything that I've cried out more and more throughout my life. God, I want to be teachable and I want to be correctable. I don't want to be a know-it-all. I don't want to be somebody that always knows everything about everything. You can't tell him anything. It's such a sad place for your heart to be in. It's such a wicked place for my heart to be, where God can't even say, Mark, what you just did was not right. I want to be, Jesus, forgive me. Forgive me, Jesus. Verse 26, I also, listen to what happens if you're unteachable and you're uncorrectable and you refuse to respond to God. In verse 26, I also will laugh at your calamity. This is God. When the thing comes, he won't deliver me. He'll laugh at my calamity. I will mock when the thing comes that shall cause you terror and panic. And we're seeing that constantly. When your panic comes, it says in verse 27, as a storm, as a desolation, and your calamity comes on as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you. What lies ahead in our lives? We don't know. We don't know what lies ahead. But if calamity comes, if distress comes, I don't want to be this person. I want to be that person we read in the beginning that seeks God and they're walking with God, and God delivers them out of all their calamity, all their troubles. Then will they call upon me, wisdom, but I will not answer. So God doesn't answer at this cry from this heart. They will seek me early and diligently, but they will not find me. It's too late. Because they hated knowledge. I don't want to be someone that hates knowledge. And they did not choose the reverent and worshipful fear of the Lord. They would accept none of my counsel, and here it is again, and despised all my reproof. Do you hate correction? Do you hate when God corrects you? That's got to come out of our hearts. We've got to become a humble man that is teachable and correctable. Otherwise, this will be our life. Therefore, shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be satiated with their own devices. Verse 32, for the backsliding of the simple shall slay them, and the careless ease of self-confident fools shall destroy them. And I've seen, people just want, can we just not be so intense? Can we not be so, uptight about everything? I'm not intense and I'm not uptight. I want the reverential fear of God in my heart. And I don't want to live at ease thinking everything's fine when it's not fine between me and God. I want to know. You want to know. Because, the devil can lead you along and open doors for you and give you a life of ease and be on a bed of ivory, as the Bible says. But what good will that do you when trouble comes, when your calamity comes? But whoso hearkens to me, wisdom, shall dwell securely and in confident trust, and shall be quiet without fear or dread of evil. And that I felt that these days when everything's going on in the world today, and the evil reports and things that are happening. I've been amazed that normally things that would just stress me out to no end, I feel peace in my heart. I really do. It does not matter what way the storm goes or what happens. All that matters is, God, is my heart right with you? Because I know that you'll take care of me. And that is something that you can't buy that. You can't fake that. It's either there or it's not there. And that's what I want. I want that to be there. In John 3, it says, and he who believes, it's about believers. Are you a believer? And he who believes in has trust in and clings to and relies on the Son has and now possesses eternal life. But whoever disobeys, is unbelieving toward, refuses to trust in, disregards, is not subject to the Son, will never experience life. But instead, listen to this, the wrath of God abides on him. God's displeasure remains on him. His indignation hangs over him continually. Is that me, Jesus? I mean, this could be you. You don't even know it. This could be you, where God's wrath is hanging over your life, and you got everything worked out, and everything's at ease, and everything seems, well, I don't think I ask God about everything. He gave me a mind. I can, that's ridiculous. And God's wrath is hanging over you, and you don't even know it. The best example I can think of that is Samson in the Bible, where God had called him, but he loved harlots. He loved the sexual sin. He loved the sexual vice. And it was a strong place of rejecting God in his life. But there's one verse that explains his lifestyle so powerfully that we really need to examine ourselves. In Judges chapter 16, verse 20, it says, and this is Delilah. She had tried so many ways to get him to say what his secret was to his strength, and he kept fooling her and tricking her until she wore him out. And he finally told her, if you cut my hair off, then that I'm a Nazarene. It's never been cut. That's part of my vow to God. Then the strength of God will leave me. So she lulled him to sleep. She cut his hair off. And then she woke him up and she said, the Philistines are upon you, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as I have time after time and shake myself free. Just because you don't see God's judgment come immediately, that moment that you cut him off, and you go in your day, and everything works out, and you don't realize that the wrath of God is hanging over you, you're deceived. You're deceived about yourself. And that's the thing. God, I don't want to be deceived about myself. I mean, look at the deception on him. The strength of God left him. It says, for Samson did not know that the Lord had departed from him. That's how deceived you can be in your lifestyle of going in and out, doing what you want, how you think it should be done, and compromising and not reverentially fearing God, not seeking God with all your heart. This can happen to you, and the wrath of God can be hanging over you, and you don't even know it. It's the saddest thing. And they came, and he had no strength to fight against them. It says they gouged his eyes out, and they chained him and made a slave out of him. I mean, his calamity came, and there was no deliverance for him. There was no salvation for him. God forbid that should be you or me. And so we need to take life seriously. We need to examine our lives and our hearts, and be aware, God, is my heart right with you? In Mark 8, it says, in verse 36, it says, for what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his life in the eternal kingdom of God? For what can a man give as an exchange, a compensation, a ransom in return for his blessed life in the eternal kingdom of God? What will I trade for eternity? I mean, like we read earlier, we have one life. That's it. This is it. This is the one you get. And how you're living it that's it. And either you're living it for God, or you're living it for yourself, for your own desires and your own plans, going in and out like Samson did. And the devil is working, taking your heart, making it so hard you can never find your way back to God. We don't want that to be you or me. We want to be that person, that poor man that cries out to God, and God hears them. I want to be one that cries out to God on that daily basis, consistently, patiently, trusting and seeking God. And then when the thing comes, I don't want to be the one that God mocks and laughs at. I want to be the one that he hears me, and he comes and he saves me and delivers me. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his life in eternal kingdom of God? It profits you nothing. My money, your money won't save you. It might give you a comfort right now. It might, you're stocked up this and you're stocked up that, and you're making sure you got everything. That's not going to save you in the day that the calamity comes. For what can a man give? What can you give in exchange? A compensation, a ransom in return for his blessed life in the eternal kingdom of God. And I think of Esau. He traded his birthright for because he was hungry, a bowl of pottage, it says. What are you trading the call of God on your life for? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? It's not. I mean, that's why it says, on that judgment day, there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Oh, I should have. I wish and the regret and the sorrow of trading all eternity in the kingdom of God for momentary lust and pleasures and selfishness in a very short amount of time. Your life is a very short amount of time. And compared to eternity, you can't even measure it. And so it's so crucial that we take life seriously, that we don't treat it lightly. So let's finish up with this. It says in John 3:16, for God so greatly loved and dearly prized the world. That's you and me. We're the world. I was born in the world. You were born in the world. We have that sin nature. We have all the workings of that wicked man to not seek God, to not inquire of God, to want what we want, to want pleasure and all these things, that fallen nature. But God so loved us in that state, in that sinful state, that he even gave up his only begotten, unique son, so that whoever believes in, so that's not just my mind believing, but trust in, clings to, and relies on him shall not perish, come to destruction, and be lost, but have eternal, everlasting life. We want to be that true believer, that one that puts their trust and relies on Jesus with all our heart, all the days of our life. And then when things come, because they're many, then our hearts are ready, and God hears our cry, and we will be delivered, saved from whatever assignment of the devil is on our life. Amen. Well, you have a very good day. Thank you for joining us today. And we meet every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 to 9. And all our programs are recorded on our website, and you can refer to them on our website at www.wordoffaithfellowship.org. Thank you.
WCAB. The music's on us on WCAB.